Today is a busy one, you guys. We are celebrating my daughter's 18th birthday. So we are baking a cake, making a cute, fun gift, grocery haul, and just prepping the house for the birthday celebration. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's video.
Now I got some peace of mind.
Hello guys, welcome back to Being with Just Fraser. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today I'm sharing a full birthday prep vlog, as you can see by the intro there. We're baking a homemade birthday cake, which is supposed to be an orange creamsicle, but I'm using all natural flavoring. And then we're gonna do a little bit of grocery shopping to prep to make that birthday cake. I also want to make a thoughtful gift for my daughter. It's a little bit different, but something I guess very teenage friendly, since this is her 18th birthday. And then I also want to, of course, tidy up the house, get everything kind of ready for the celebration. So if you enjoy homemaking vlogs or grocery haul, cleaning, all the family life content, make sure you stick around and give this video a thumbs up. Hit the red subscribe button if you haven't already. Come along and join my family. I am so grateful for you being here today. So anyway, make sure you don't miss out on any cozy homemaking videos that I share. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into this video. I am starting in the bedroom. Of course, this is kind of also falls along with like my daily routine of just getting things tidied up. I love a tidy home. It is just something that I feel like preps my day for success. And so just getting the living room kind of tidied up and the bedroom tidied up with the bed being made, and that just preps my day so that way I feel far more successful. So anyway, like I said, it is my oldest daughter's 18th birthday, the one that made me a mom. As you guys know, if you guys have been around a while, I've been pretty emotional about this day, this whole year really, because she started her senior year this year, and it has just been very emotional for me. I'm so not ready. I'm ready, but not ready at the same time. To see my babies grow up. I love that they're growing and succeeding and just flourishing with life, but at the same time, it's still very, very, very hard to watch, knowing that they're not going to need you as much as they used to. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and just get prepped here, and then we are going to head off to the grocery store. I did just need to grab a few things from Walmart to bake the cake, and then also to make the little floral arrangement. So I started by grabbing some flowers. They had a big variety, and as much as my daughter doesn't love pink, I really love just the deep burgundy color of the roses. I also decided that instead of buying oranges singly, it was more affordable to buy them in a whole pack. So I did end up doing that. And then, of course, because we live near Daytona Speedway, we were getting ready for the Daytona, I think it's the Diet or Coke Zero Sugar Classic, something like that, 400, something like that. I don't know. Your girl is not a huge race fan. I have been to the Kansas City Speedway, which is a whole lot of fun to watch NASCAR, but I have yet to go to the Daytona Speedway, even though I live down here. So anyway, we're going to finish up grabbing these ingredients and get home and start baking this cake.
Feel good about yourself, but he's with me now. We're kissing on your old couch. I know you're trying to feel better, 'cause you're being bitter on your own. Get your heart out. Heard you moved on.
Like I said, this is a orange creamsicle cake that I am making for her. It was at her request. She wanted something different than just a regular everyday birthday cake. Usually, if you've seen pictures or in vlogs and stuff before, I tend to do, back in the day, like I used to make my kids cakes all the time, like cupcakes and stuff like that, because realistically, we just did not have a lot of money, and it was a great way to save money is by making it yourself, especially if you wanted something kind of fancy or on theme for the birthday. It was just much cheaper for me to make it myself than to go out and buy it. And then we got to the point where we did start, we had a little bit more money to go around. And so we did start buying pre-made cakes. And then we worked our way down here to Florida and no longer having birthday parties or anything like that. And just kind of doing the family thing. And so then we started buying just pre-made cupcakes out of the Walmart bakery, which, if you know, you know, I like the Walmart bakery cupcakes. They're actually really good. Even their cakes are really good. And they're very affordable compared to a lot of other places. I know Publix makes an amazing cake, but they are so expensive. So yeah, anyway, but at the request of my daughter for her birthday, she requested an orange creamsicle cake, homemade by mom. And so I decided to do my best. I found a recipe online. And so I will definitely make sure to share those ingredients on the screen for you, so you can take a screenshot of that if you would like. I found out through this cake that I forgot that I don't like oranges. So I like artificial orange flavoring. So like, orange suckers or little orange, the gummies, any orange thing like that. And then I like orange juice, but actual oranges, I'm just not a fan. And I reminded myself of this with this cake. So it is what it is. Honestly, it really did taste pretty good, especially if you're someone that loves oranges. You will definitely love this cake. And I'm not gonna lie though, it definitely was a chore. A lot of heart, sweat, yeah, all the things went into making this cake.
I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing.
I have to laugh at myself. One, pouring oil into this measuring glass. This measuring glass, I don't know where I got it at, but I've had it for years, and all the writing on it, all the measurements are pretty much gone off of it. So your girl was struggling in trying to figure out how to see or how much oil I had poured in there. So anyway, it was I just had to laugh at myself, because even the faces I'm making and stuff while baking, I've never caught that until I go back and watch these videos of me baking or cooking or anything, and it's just funny, the different faces we make. But anyway, like I said, I actually ended up using way more oranges than I initially thought. The original recipe only called, I think, for 2 or 3 oranges, and I think overall I ended up using 6 oranges or so. So it definitely had a very, very good orange flavor. So this day though was already so stressful to begin with. As you guys know, we were going up to North Carolina. I think I mentioned that to you guys before. And so my daughter's birthday was actually the day before we left. It was just so stressful. So not only was I just trying to run around and get everything prepped for her birthday, because of course, it's her 18th birthday. Of any birthdays, I want her to have an amazing time, but even more so, as it being her 18th birthday, becoming an adult, is a huge deal, for kids. And so I really wanted this birthday to be special for her, even though we were getting ready to leave the next day, which joke's on us, because we didn't end up leaving the next day, which I will explain here in a little while why. But yeah, so this day was like incredibly stressful, just trying to make sure that I get the house cleaned up, getting prepped for our trip, and making sure that she had the best birthday ever, which unfortunately, it just didn't go that way. And then we, for her birthday that morning, it was actually a school day, and I called her out, which I don't typically do. We try to teach our kids, we're trying to set them up for success as adults, and by sending them to school, not really letting them just call out just because they want to, because sometimes in life you just can't call out of work, and so we try to teach that and instill that work ethic into our kids. And so however, it's her 18th birthday. It's potentially the last birthday that she will have here at home, because her future plans after school will take her away from here, and so, or potentially take her away from here. And so I was like, you know what? You only turn 18 once. And so I called her into school, and then her and her friends decided to take the train for the first time into Orlando, which was like super scary and super stressful. If you know my daughter, sometimes she isn't always, I don't know what word is accurate here, but she's not always aware of her surroundings and things that are going on and the happenings in the world and around her and all the things. And so we were a little bit nervous for that, and it didn't help that my husband was also home. He decided to work from home on this day to make sure that he was there for on time for her to have her birthday dinner, and so it was a whole thing, and he was stressed out because he was having issues at work, and it was a whole situation, you guys. It really it was so stressful. I'm like, what a time, what a day. Goodness gracious. And so, like I said, I did go ahead. I wanted to get the cakes though made, and that way we could get them into the oven. And while they were at the oven, try to get 2 birds, 1 stone, you know what I mean, and just get everything going. And so I wanted to make sure that I also had laundry going, so that way all of our clothes were washed before we left, because I usually wash on Mondays, and then so we were actually going to leave on Saturday. This is actually a Friday that my daughter's birthday was on, and so we were leaving Saturday, and we were going to be gone until the next Saturday night, which is basically a week. And so the laundry was going to be piled up, and I just wanted to make sure that all got done. So I was trying to run the washer while I was baking, and then I decided it was time to make my daughter's gift. So as you saw, we got her flowers, but that's not all we got her. We also got her some gift cards to some of her favorite places, and I did like a gas card, some food cards, and then like clothing, like Victoria's Secret. So she likes to they have like sweatpants and her undergarments and stuff. So there, and so I thought it would be fun to just kind of give her some gift cards. That way, instead of just handing her money, it's still a gift in a way. I truly hate giving gift cards sometimes, but sometimes it's just so hard to shop for teenagers and knowing what they want, and this way it's still a gift, but she's able to pick out her own items too, because she loves shopping. So it kind of helps, it's kind of a win-win all across the board, I guess. And so I kind of came up with the idea to make it a little bit more fun than just handing over some cards. And I thought that I would put together this bouquet of flowers, and then taking like little wooden dowels, which you'll see here in a minute. I use little wooden dowels and hot glued them on to the back of the gift cards to kind of make little stakes into the bouquet, into the vase.
The bet on me. I do believe
I actually really thought this was a cute idea, and she loved it. It was super fun because, you know, what girl doesn't love getting flowers? You know, I used to always like hate getting flowers. Like, I'm like, they're so cliche and they just die, so they're such a waste of money. And then for the first time ever, like a year or so ago, my husband got me flowers, and I was like, okay, maybe I don't hate getting flowers anymore. I still think they're a waste of money, but it's still nice to know that somebody thinks about you. The downfall of them in our house, though, however, is we have a cat that likes to eat them, and then she gets bathroom troubles from eating it because I'm sure it is poisonous to her, and it's a whole situation. So unfortunately, that cat did get into these flowers, and the flowers ended up spending the entire time we were away in mine and my husband's bathroom to keep her from getting to them. So that kind of sucks, but it worked out nonetheless. My daughter still loved getting the flowers, and even though they are pink and not her favorite color, she doesn't really love pink, but she really liked the other flowers, which I did too, and she said it was all okay, that it kind of, you know, it made sense, it matched, and it looked really pretty. So that was kind of the idea I was going for. I really hoped that she liked the deeper purpley red color of the flowers that were in there, and so I don't know, I just thought it was fun, a different way, a creative way to give a gift to a teenager. So if you have a teenage girl in your life, get her a bouquet of flowers and stick some get some sticks and put some gift cards on them in there. So anyway, it's time to get these cakes out of the oven and get them cooled down so we can go ahead and start frosting them. Now, I didn't share or show the big break that I took after taking them out of the oven before making the frosting. But you definitely want to make sure that your cakes are cooled completely. I actually ended up letting them cool for like 10 minutes or so, and then taking them out of the pan. Like, basically I let them cool until I could touch them, and then I took them out of the pan and let them finish cooling on a baking rack. You're going to want to do that because otherwise your frosting is going to run all over the place. It's going to melt all over the cake and then be a big mess. I was already having issues the way it was, with the frosting being very soft, and so I did end up actually, after making the frosting, I did end up having to put it in the cake in the fridge for a little while to let it set up and get kind of, you know, a little harder, thicker to hold the cake. So anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this frosting whipped up here. It's just a super simple frosting with some powdered sugar and cream cheese, and then I also used a little bit of milk and vanilla and some orange zest and some orange juice. So just a simple cream cheese recipe, or cream cheese frosting recipe with a little added orange.
Yeah. 'Cause I want to dance in the rain, yeah. I'm tripping on it, feeling that it going away. I need you right next to me. Take the records to the city, close your eyes and just play, and I'll be sway. We just sway, and I'll be sway. We just sway. Levitating with you, anything can happen. What you think we should do? Let tonight begin. We're just flying high, we're not coming down. Come right up next to me, stepping side to side. I wanna sway.
And honestly, as much as I don't really like oranges, this frosting was actually very good and so delicious. I also thought it was fun. I will say the cake said it was orange creamsicle, but it wasn't very creamsicle to me. It was just more just orange flavored. So it's definitely a good like summertime treat, a summertime cake. You know, even for maybe not necessarily a typical birthday cake, but even if you have like a church bake sale or something like that, some sort of gathering, family reunion or anything like that. Do people even do family reunions anymore? I don't even know. But anyway, You know, this cake would be perfect for something like that. It's very fresh. And then I just kind of cheated with the topping and put little orange candies on top. But you could totally find a different way if you can pipe candies, make them out of fondant or something like that if you really wanted to get creative with it. I knew that she liked the orange candies though, so that's why I kind of did it that way. But anyway, I was struggling a little bit. The cake got a little bit dry on me and started cracking and kind of crumbling. And that's why I kind of, you know, I put frosting on it a little bit to help glue it together, I guess, if you will. And then I put it in the fridge at that point because, like I said, it was just sliding and making a mess more than anything. So I just put it in the fridge, let it cool down for about 15 minutes or so, and get a little bit firmer, and then I went back in and finished frosting the entire cake before I decorated it. So like I said, if you love oranges, this cake is definitely for you. I'm gonna pop that recipe up here on the screen when I get done decorating it, so you can screenshot it if you are interested in that. But it's definitely delicious if you like oranges. I'm not saying it was bad. It was just not something that I typically would eat. We did serve it with some vanilla ice cream. You saw me pick that up at the store. And so that gave it more of like the creaminess of the creamsicle vibe, in my opinion. Because like I said, it didn't really have a creamsicle vibe to me. More so just like a citrusy orange cake.
That we are done. Oh, hands in the air like I don't care. Music is.
So I did end up getting the cake finished up. The unfortunate thing though is by the time my daughter made it back home from riding the train, she no longer wanted to eat dinner with us or celebrate with us, and she wanted to go out with her friends out to the country club. And so not like country club, like golfing in that type of country club, but more so like line dancing country club. And so we ended up letting her do that. She tried her cake, I don't even know. I think it was like 3 days later. And we were out of town when she tried it. So I don't even know if she really liked it, you guys. She said she did. She said it was fine. But yeah, so... but also to fill you guys in, because you know y'all are my family and I love sharing with you, so we actually didn't end up leaving the next day after I hurried and got everything kind of cleaned up and then all the laundry done and all that. We actually didn't end up leaving until Sunday because our next daughter down, who drives like a little Ranger, her brakes went out, and she had been driving on them for a few days before she even said anything about the light being on. So my husband was trying to fix it on Saturday. It was a whole ordeal, and we just ended up changing our reservation until Sunday, and he actually didn't even get the brakes fixed. So while we were gone, the girls shared the car, my oldest daughter's car, and it wasn't such a big deal. They got friends or rides from friends. My dad helped out a little bit, and it was what it was. And unfortunately, the Ranger is still not fixed because not only did the brakes go out because she drove on it for so long with the brakes out, the ABS is out too. So it's a whole situation. Thank God my husband can work on stuff like that. He is like a jack of all trades because he's saving the day. So anyway, I did want to go ahead also before we left. I have my favorite pair of shorts. My denim shorts that if you're a thick thigh girl like me, you know you get holes where your thighs rub, and so sorry TMI, but it is what it is. It's real life. So I wanted to put some patches on there before we left, so that way I had them to wear while we were in North Carolina. So anyway, guys, I hope this video was helpful, inspirational, or if you got any ideas for it or from it or for it or whatever the deal may be. But if you haven't already and you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. But I hope you guys all stay happy, healthy, and safe. I will share more about our North Carolina trip in the next video, so make sure you all come back, and we'll see you then. Bye, guys.